Chicago Bears. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Wins first play going right to the air. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 19 yards right off the bat and a quick first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. On play action, it's Wentz. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
Man, I wonder if someone's down there checking on the head coach right now because he might be in a little bit of shock after what just transpired. Instead of a lengthy opening drive to deal with, this guy stepped up and stole that drive away. Momentum on their side now. How will they attack on offense?
Suddenly it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Now Fields. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Commanders will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points no matter what. At worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
On second down, a run with Gibson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. This defense for the Bears, they had certainly had their struggles to start the season, but they put it all together in getting that first victory a week ago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
They'll go. It's Gibson. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Took a heck of a chance there, didn't he? Result-based business, we know that. That result was positive for him. But, oh, my goodness, how close was that to being negative?
Well, because you're essentially in the shadow of your own end zone there to go for. I get it if it's late 4th quarter. Well, it paid off. I guess the end justifies the means, right?
It certainly does. Had to be more than a gut feeling there. Had to be just total confidence they would pick it up.
On play action, Wentz. They'll roll him out right. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. They've got his man complete. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Commanders use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Joey Sly on for the extra point. The kick is good, and the Commanders out to a 7-0 lead. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Fields. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Fields. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. 4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Gibson here running out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Wentz going to throw. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his first touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game. You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Tackle made by Chase Young. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw. Fields. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. And here's Trenton Gill now.
Trenton Gill in formation for the Bears.
And this will be taken at the 13. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack. That'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz under pressure, and they got to him again. Alexander Johnson, the one to drop him.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Wentz and the Commanders staring down a 3rd and long now after that sack. They'll set up to throw. Complete, it's Dodson. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they're still looking at 4th down now.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Got his target, Samuel. And this is going to wind up working out just fine as he'll have a Washington first down. And an exhale there as they convert on 4th. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. but they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down. Again, it's Wentz. Looking deep downfield. And this is taken in at the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A huge play there for Washington. 47 yards.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. Gibson is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now a play fake. Wentz dancing to his left. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Commanders have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Sly on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0.
Makes the score. Commanders 41. Bears nothing.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. From his end zone is Byron Pringle. And ultimately he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a force.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Trying to lay one up deep. And this one is incomplete.
Well, these are the situations that really test the defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wentz. And this one too low.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Play action. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And that is no good. No good. Wide to the left. And the lead will hold at 3 touchdowns.
And, partner, a lot of kickers in this spot like to aim at the right upright and just draw it back down the center. This one looked like it was aimed at the left upright and just kept bending away.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback. But you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown. I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick 6, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This taken in at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Fields. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And from their own end zone, it's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And, boy, that means this next drive is going to start at the 3-yard line.
Flag, come on.
They'll run with Gibson. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Commanders are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that makes this 35-0 now. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. Takes it at the 7. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
A final shot before the break. Fields. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Play action. It's Fields. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here we go on 4th down. Fields. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. On 1st down, Wentz. Out left to Dotson. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a 1st down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made touchdown. Jahan Dotson, a 15-yard touchdown ground. And the Commanders have taken a 6-touchdown lead. So it takes them just 3 plays here to find the end zone. And you remember, of course, this was all set up by their defense.
Yeah, they got the stop on 4th down, so I imagine the offense said to their defense, thank you very much for this great starting field position. And like you said, 3 plays later, they're in the end zone.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it is 42-0. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. From the end zone, here's Pringle. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
8 yards to go on 2nd down. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Fields hit and the ball is loose. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he is going to bring this one back to the house. It's a Commanders touchdown on the scoop and score. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fields it right around the goal line. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they've brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On 4th down, Fields. Man open, that's Byron Pringle complete. And he is going to have the Bears first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. To the air again, Fields. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Here's Fields. The catch made by James O'Shaughnessy, the tight end. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Fields. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. He's got his tight end O'Shaughnessy. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And the Bears are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Now Fields. Open man, he finds Komet. Touchdown, Chicago. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Bears are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Fields trying to throw for it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Roquan Smith charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. To try again after the sack. Wentz. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. Jahan Dotson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Commanders are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Pringle going to stay in the end zone, and this will come out to the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Again, Fields. Well, this is Montgomery with a grab over the middle. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
17 yards. That's good for the Chicago Bears.
Fields on first down. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way. Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again is Fields. This is caught. Touchdown, Bears! Cole Kmet, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Bears get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. They'll try and throw for it. And he will get into the end zone as the deficit moves from really bad to slightly less than really bad. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. Now, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
Straight ahead, Gibson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Wentz now on first down. That's out to the flat for Gibson. Touchdown! Antonio Gibson. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Commanders continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the fourth. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
14.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Griffin. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Fields. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Fields throwing again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Fields. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Montez Sweat in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Fourth down, Fields has to have this one. He's going to let it fly. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked by Kendall Fuller. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, I think it's pretty evident that any blowout isn't going to be big enough for them. They're already up 7 full touchdowns, and it's still not stopping them from throwing it deep downfield, taking their shots, trying to add more points.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. Samuel bringing in the slant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a 1st down.
Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week, and, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here, and they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz.
And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted.
Eddie Jackson picks it.
And the Bears are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On 2nd and 11 now, Fields. And now here is another interception. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, we just saw something you don't ordinarily see, and that's him trying to deep ball after throwing a pick 6 on his previous pass. Normally, they give him something safe to get his confidence back. Instead, they let him...
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Kendall Fuller. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, and they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Commanders,
they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down.